You come home with your mutant gifts to a house of bone. Everything you see now, all of it, bone.
I'm thinking of ending things is haunting. In its beauty, in its complexity, in its being. I felt the dizzying psychedelic deep dive into psychosis, tangling multiple timelines of regret, abuse, and self-identity. I felt the uncanny tension of going into a situation out of formality or even for the betterment of yourself while at the same time cautious of your decision. Even slightly regretting it, at the core of who you are, no matter how you try to justify it. The emotions of remembering reasons why you're currently doubting yourself. Those memories feeling like ghosts, ominous and lingering in the back of your mind and ahead of you at your destination, looking forward to your return within this new experience. It's haunting. My interpretation of this film is that there are two narratives taking place. The first being about a figment of Jake's imagination manifested, and how she becomes self-aware simultaneously as the dreamer is dying. Her reality breaks as both crash and return to the collective consciousness. And within the implosion lies a secondary narrative of self-discovery. As the young woman transforms into the quote-unquote ideal woman whenever Jake needs her to be. She's a poet, a painter, a gerontologist, a quantum physicist, a waitress, each giving her a different name, a new identity as she morphs into the concept of the girlfriend. That is a concept of the film I find incredibly unsettling, since all that is happening is within the dream of someone. Time becomes as shifting and transient as the wind. It feels nightmarish to me to imagine myself as a memory within someone I knew from a failed relationship. To not age because you haven't yet in their mind from your absence. To not remember who you were before now because that person did not know you before then. To be uniquely trapped, separated from your own timeline, swallowed in infinite gradients of strangeness. Unable to move forward, unable to move. Just bone. The way the film looks gives me a different type of anxiety, a claustrophobia from my memories, an uncanny coziness of barely remembering the road trip to a place I'm glad I've forgotten, except for the things that were strange to me. Like a new swing set in the yard of an abandoned house, or the uneasy feeling of being a guest in someone else's home. Not knowing if you're truly safe, your vision splits. Half instinctive, noticing everything in case things start to feel treacherous. Half wandering eye taking a peek into someone else's life, into someone you might care about. Seeing things of their past, seeing through them with your X-ray vision. Hoping to understand them more, you observe everything, committing even the wallpaper to memory. And how those same patterns and colors and emotions of the time become a part of you, all tightly framed in a 4:3 aspect ratio. The writing is some of the best I've seen in my opinion since Blade Runner 2049. It's moving, it's poetic, it's existential, it's depressing, and it's the backbone of the film. I'm thinking of ending things as almost entirely a film about conversations, tackling subjects of loneliness and isolation and the repetitive nature of bad relationships. And it serves as great material for outstanding performances, and I can't praise the movie enough for it. The casting was top-notch. Everyone brought an eccentricity to their character that stayed with them throughout the age transitions and led to a completely transformative experience. Jessie Buckley plays so many roles. Whomever Jake needs her to be, also a woman coming to terms with herself and insecurities while maintaining the family power dynamic by being the loving girlfriend even when she's noticeably uncomfortable. And as the audience surrogate, as she routinely asks questions we are also asking. What's in the basement? Why are there scratches on the door? Where's Jimmy? Almost like the moment it comes into our head, she thinks it too. Jesse Plemons plays his character with a subtle intensity. He feels realistic in his social disadvantages. An intelligent man weighed down by his poor self-image, and how it gives him this superiority complex when it's shown by the quiet cleverness of his parents that he's no genius, but also shows why he needs to feel like one, and how that arrogance and bitterness creeped into his adult life. From the meet-cute moment subverted because he was just being a brash, staring weirdo and Lucy just wanted it to stop, to picking a super obscure trivia name very few would actually know, to the more obvious correcting of others he does as he constantly demeans Lucia's statements. Toni Collette and David Thewlis steal the show in my opinion. I feel they have the best on-screen interactions and really show their acting prowess in a film full of great performances. Toni's subdued erraticism stemming from her guilt as a mother and a wife only, expressed through the embarrassing tenderness she gives Jake, which he recoils from in every attempt, leaving her more confused and hurt as she aged. David's condescending questions constantly shaking the grounds of stability whenever Lucia tries to stand up for herself instead of just congratulating her. He's the epitome of old-fashioned, stuck in his ways and just fits there perfectly, solemnly with an offbeat coldness that never gives you a shoulder of comfort, just a gaze of slight disappointment. You can see both of their patronizing attitudes towards Jake, leading him to being the controlling man-child he is, groaning at the dinner table, slamming it out of anger, and even raising his voice at Ames. All points of his life being parts both great and distinct, filled with regret and melancholic fondness, adding to the totality of his persona, crashing within the psyche of a man breaking down for the last time. I'm thinking of ending things as haunting. The incredibly trippy editing and subtle fourth wall breaks making you feel invaded and vulnerable. The camera that seems to have a mind of its own, also affected by time, arriving in different rooms before the characters do. No longer are we passive specters watching events unfold. We are with her. We become her. A living concept gaining perspective when it's far too late. Left stranded in a place out of time. Grasping to reality, only gripping enough to embrace the mind-bending horror of it all. I'm thinking of ending things is haunting. Thank you all for watching. I truly loved I'm thinking of ending things. I really haven't felt this strongly about a film in a while, and I appreciate you listening to my thoughts on it. What was your favorite conversation from the movie? I would love to hear what moved you the most. And until next time, I've been your host, Cinema Ghost.